It was touted as the most consequential moment of this race for president. That's exactly what the first ever debate between a president and a former president turned out to be. From the start, Joe Biden struggled to answer questions, reinforcing questions about his age. Trump launched a series of lies and misleading attacks, but he faced scant fact-checking, and he did it in a forceful manner. By the time the 90 minutes were up, the drumbeat about Biden's age from Democrats had key figures from across the party talking about replacing Biden on the ticket. Rachel Scott starts us off from Atlanta. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. This was the biggest political stage yet of the 2024 campaign, and Democrats were really looking to President Biden to put to rest those questions and concerns about his age. But this morning, his performance is only fueling more and sending his party scrambling.
This morning, panic and concern within the Democratic Party after this debate performance from President Biden.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden.
From the start of the debate, the president speaking with a raspy voice, at times stumbling and trailing off, unable to finish his thought, even on the issues at the heart of his campaign, like abortion rights.
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor between the woman and the state.
The Biden campaign telling reporters the president, who is 81 years old, had a cold, something they did not mention until an hour into the debate. Trump questioning Biden's mental fitness.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
It was the first time the two candidates have come face to face in 4 years.
He's, without question, the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country.
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Almost immediately, the attacks turning personal.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
When he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon.
That clearly didn't sit well with Biden, delivering his most direct attack yet on some of the allegations surrounding Trump.
The crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
And Biden going after Trump for his actions on January 6th and his promise to pardon the rioters who stormed the Capitol.
He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
But when pressed on his actions, Trump deflected. And he would not say whether he would accept the results of the November election.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous.
Trump pushed several false claims, from insisting there was no terror during his administration to claiming that every legal scholar in the world supported overturning Roe versus Wade.
Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
At one point, the two oldest candidates in history bickering over their golf game.
I told you before, I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
not act like children.
And while Biden tried to address his age head on,
this guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around there.
The most consequential night of the campaign ended with only more questions. Even his own vice president acknowledging he had a rough go.
Listen, he did not get off to a strong start in that debate, but he had a strong finish.
Donald Trump did make several false and misleading claims, many of which went unchecked or challenged on that debate stage, even by President Biden. This morning, many Democrats calling that a missed opportunity. The president did make a late-night stop at a Waffle House. He was asked directly about his debate performance. He said he had no concerns, but that is not what we are hearing from Democrats this morning.